Hello, I'm Daisy from Spiritual Mixtape, and welcome to another long-form piece of content. This has been really hard to put together for you because I am feeling the Firehorse energy and I'm ready to go, and my nervous system is just like dying to get into action. But all the systems that I work in are like, no thanks. There's an eclipse and a Mercury retrograde coming, and we just don't really want to help you today. But having said that, the Firehorse in me, the wild Mustang in me, is like, I'm not having your nose. I'm ready to push through this. I'm fully committed. And I'm going to figure it out. So what I did today, I recorded you a Soundbath for the Firehorse, which is the Chinese New Year. So we've just moved from the year of the snake into the year of the Firehorse. And this is all about momentum. But I have literally been feeling this in my bones for about 2 weeks, just like nervous excitement. And actually, one of the things that I find quite sad about my life now is I don't have that nervous excitement anymore. I used to have it quite a lot when I was younger. And I think when you work in quite an exciting industry, you do have nervous because there was always something I was pushing myself into, pushing into a next level. And this week I felt it consistently. And the week before I felt it, but with a level of not being able to activate, move on the energy. And I've been writing a little bit about it on my socials, but really the most important thing that I can tell you in terms of spiritual mixtape and teaching breathwork is that this is an energy that needs to be grounded. And you could say that about pretty much anything out there in the world, couldn't you? We're all better when we're grounded. We're all better and more likable and less reactive when our energy is grounded, not just into our bones, but into the land that we are on. When we feel so ourselves that people don't need to feel scared of us. And this is even hard for me to even record this intro for you because my mind is working so fast, but my ability to get this out in words is slow. I've got two speeds running here. I've got my mind, which is like, and then my physical, which is maybe, I don't know, 8 beats behind. So we need to ground right now. And the other part of all of this is, it's not even the eclipses. This is the thing right now. The eclipses would usually take all of my focus. I would be talking about it. I would be telling you what you should and shouldn't do and focusing on what happened 9 years ago, 18 years ago, which is a cycle that the eclipses run on. But there is so much else happening that is resonating, that is creating such coherence in our lives that we haven't even got to the eclipses. This Firehorse energy is crazy. But there's also Mercury in Pisces. And the other thing that is going to happen with this Mercury in Pisces is that we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in it. And that's why Mercury is going to stay in Pisces for a long time. Now, when Mercury is in Pisces, we really, really do become about our thoughts, our mental working throughs. So that in itself as well needs to be grounded. You never want to live just above the eyes only. You want everything to be running through your whole body. And energetically, people can feel that. When you are not grounded, when everything's just in the head, it's just a thought, and you're not embodying it, people can feel that. Think of all the people that you really respect, whether it's a Steve Jobs or I don't know, I really wanted to think of someone hilarious there, but I couldn't. But let's take Steve Jobs. When you think about him, how grounded, even though he was creative and kind of crazy, right? Like he was so out there and wild with his ideas. But when you think of him, you're like, oh no, he was fully embodying his brand of crazy so much that it became physical and tangible. I've got one here. I've literally got an iPhone and I'm looking at my Mac. So there's a lot of energy right now that will make us feel, it's not even that it makes us feel ungrounded. It's that the experience needs grounding. It's not like these energies are coming around being like me, trying to like jellyfish you into something that's uncomfortable. It's how you work with it. That's the issue. And if you become all mind, all air, all thought, you're floating above everything and not actually anchoring. And the biggest thing that we've learned really in the last few years is about the nervous system. And the nervous system is how we show up in the world. And when we're unanchored, when we are not in our nervous system, we're just floating around. And this is hard for me because I am recording on 2 different setups that I never use. So I'm not able to watch my clock count. So I'm being taken out of my comfort zone. And what's super interesting about that is I've just had a double mastectomy and reconstruction. I should just be backing down here. I should be feeling tired and just being like, no thanks, I will do this tomorrow. But I'm actually like, well, I can't. I need to fire horse this. I need to take the steps, find a solution, put this out. So what am I putting out? I'm putting out a breathwork and I'm putting out a sound bath. And I'm putting the sound bath onto the podcast and it will be on my YouTube as well. And the breathwork part is going to be in my free community. So there is no charge to any of this. You can find your way through all of it and enjoy. Please enjoy. Now, the breathwork is day 8 of my 28-day breathwork consistency challenge. And why I picked day 8 is every day has an anchoring statement. And day 8 says, I am grounded. It is a very simple 8-minute breath track, 2-minute meditation, same style and pattern of breath that I always teach, which is 2 inhales for every exhale. And the reason I teach that is it's called a physiological breath. It puts you into rest and digest. It helps your body move into the parasympathetic nervous system. It supports in every aspect you moving to grounded energy. And then, of course, when I made this, I didn't think I was going to put it out as something to support you through this kind of crazy firehorse energy, but here we are. Now, with this crazy firehorse energy, I put this up on my socials the other day and people really felt it. But I gave the signs of if you're feeling this firehorse energy, what does it look like? And emotionally and nervous system wise, here are my 3. Low tolerance for misalignment. If you are not feeling aligned, you're going to feel drained, irritated, situations that you can't be authentic in, even if you tolerated them before. You just have no tolerance for misalignment. The second is heightened heart energy. I actually saw this so clearly in a class I taught in person yesterday. Stronger pulls in the chest around joy, grief. That's a really big one. Lots of people are feeling grief. But on the flip side, love, purpose. You're beginning to have really clear yes or no's. That whole body yes, whole body no. Don't ignore it. This is part of our intuitive upgrade that comes with the firehorse. A firehorse, a Mustang, has incredible energy. The other thing with a Mustang and with horses in general is they are flight animals. They get themselves out the way. They don't try and fight. They try and flee from the situation. So if we are ungrounded in our firehorse, we're going to be fleeing from things we shouldn't be fleeing from. That instinct in us is going to be even more amplified. That's why we ground. Now, my final one, that's the one I like the most of these emotional nervous system signs is nervous excitement, which I already touched on, right? So this is feeling it in the belly, feeling like, oh God, that would have scared me. I would have procrastinated with that one before, but now I'm like charging in. And then just to talk you through a few more to see if you're really feeling this firehorse vibe, the urge to move, the urge to tell your truth, and really focusing on passion projects. Hello, look here. I'm like, to be quite honest with you, I have always been a little bit anti recording the bowls because they never sound as good as they will do in person because of the frequency. But I have just knuckled down on recording them, figured it out. So focus on the passion project. And not that this is a passion project, of course, it's my real life. and my real job, but there are a million things I was meant to do today. And I have been feeling the call to do this for about a week, and it took a minute to get everything in line. Anyway, I'm feeling all the fire horse. I'm sure you are too. So here's my next sign as well, a surge in creativity. Hello. Literally all of these things. Call to embody love, romance. That's a lovely one. Faster manifestation feedback. And then I think that it's worth saying a couple of the negatives as well. So the shadow side of the fire horse, feeling burnt out, reactive, and like pushing yourself into overworking, which is the reason I brought that up is because obviously I've been watching if I've been crossing those lines today and being like, okay, let's shift things back. Where is it a challenge that you're rising to, skills that you're learning versus creating burnout? And I would say that the biggest other shadow sign is that restlessness. Think of, I don't know how many of you are familiar with horses or seeing horses in fields, but when they're feeling like caged in, pent up, restless. So those are the shadow sides. So this breath work, although it was made for the 28-day challenge, it's the perfect answer. I don't need to re-record it. It's great for this. And like I said, it's up in the free community. All you have to do is make an account and it's just there for you. And I'll keep it up. And this sound bath is 20 minutes. Pop it on, end of the day, beginning of the day, when you need to get your frequencies in check and just allow yourself to receive, to be grounded by the sound and the frequency, so you don't have to overthink it. Just accept the Momo, my lovely dog. So that, I think, is my sign to wrap this up and just say, enjoy the sound bath, enjoy the fire horse, enjoy feeling momentum. For some of us, we've felt held in place for a really long time. But at the same time, now that things start to move, we have to be ready to be in that motion. It might feel quite jolty, quite foreign in your body. So more water, more good food, more sleep will all help. And there are solar flares, so it is hard to sleep. But you've got this, okay? Just put a protocol in, put the sound bath on, help yourself down-regulate, keep the stress low. And this is why we have these practices, because our body does produce more cortisol in this world, in this life. And these practices help to down-regulate, to take that stress level down, take the hormones down. And if I can figure out all this crazy that's happening right now for myself, then you can too. I fully believe in you. I won't come back to you after the sound bath. It will just end. But I hope to see you next week, and I hope to continue to support you through this fire horse year. Please enjoy the breath work. It's in the free community, and you're the best.